What's good? It's Ozman the Wizard.
And Naima.
This is not another damn podcast. Presented by our damn selves. 203.
Yes.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we go any further, I forgot to mention this last week. Historic moments is for our wrestling fans. So I said I'm gonna mention it now. When it's all good, it's still Black history, Black excellence, all that good stuff. Got to shout out both the lovely Sasha Banks and the lovely Bianca Belair. First two Black women ever to main event WrestleMania for the women's title SmackDown.
Yes.
Two sisters doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
Bianca won the match. Yeah, first title ever. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very dope, yes.
And I saw her reaction video Marcus played for me, and just like her face, like her face. And then I started watching some of her other videos that she's done with like her husband, because her and her husband do like
as well too. Yeah, like
they do like play TikToks or whatever.
They got a good channel is hilarious. They do like goofy shit on YouTube.
Because I saw one they did where they reenacted the Thriller video, and she was Ola Ray and he was Michael Jackson.
He's a character. His Montez Ford. He's like one half of the Street Profits tag team. And he's a funny dude. It's good to
When he did that circle glide, I was like, oh no, he turned around and did the Michael Jackson circle glide. I was like, oh, he a fool for real. I was like, he funny for real. He did that.
You got a very inspirational story. I said I want to mention, even though y'all might not, like you say, you don't really follow wrestling like that, but like
I don't, but I'm
you got a story though. Yeah,
I'm square for two Black women heading
it's only the second time women ever headlined, and the first time it was two Black women. So last time it was Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. It was like they were all white women, yeah. But it's only the second time. It's been 37 WrestleManias. Twice women had. First time ever has been two Black women. So there it is.
Mm-hmm. And a sport that's dominated by white men. So it's like to see
Black women headline the show, the spotlight put on them. Pretty big deal, so I had to mention that. Yeah. And I wanted to start off light because we got a lot of heavy shit this week, man. I'm scared to even go into why water you mad, bro, sir, because there'll be a lot of mad shit on this show. Like I'm gonna say some stuff that makes people
Did I wear the right shirt? My shirt says I see dumb people. It's a Simpsons shirt, like the like the Sixth Sense with Bart.
We're both gonna talk about dumb people, and we're gonna make people mad, so it's appropriate.
I just wear it by chance because I'm in a Simpsons mood today. So yeah.
I don't know where to start. Because Dante Wright, Adam Toledo, like where do we start? It's like and on a couple of other things, the Chauvin trial wraps. I think the closing arguments start Monday, so later today as this podcast is released. The Chauvin trial looks there's a lot going on.
We can start with the Chauvin trial because since that's been going on for a while,
and like on purpose, I haven't talked about that shit here.
And honestly,
wasn't an accident. I chose to I said I don't want to give that energy.
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't watched any of the trial. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be like.
I haven't watched one single minute of that trial.
I've seen
headlines online, but I haven't watched one.
And I've seen clips where people show
I haven't even seen any clips. I've avoided the video clips. I've seen headlines. All I've seen.
I saw the one clip with the guy crying. One of the witnesses on the scene. It was like an older Black guy, and he was crying. I saw a brief clip of that.
Because the first week, of course, the prosecution they presented all of their evidence, like the witnesses, like the girl that shot the video, who's a teenager at the time.
Yeah,
all of them went first. They brought in the paramedics. It's let's break it down. So we're talking about the first week was all of that. Is where definitely it looked really bad for because the paramedics were and they wouldn't even they wouldn't even let us give them treatment. It was the best that whole and then the second week was the defense telling their side, which I know very little about. I saw some outrage on my timeline about, so I'm not watching that shit yet. But I saw the headlines about the prosecution. It's the girl talked, other witnesses that were there too was you saw what they said about the one cop held him back, which we'll see it in the video. The agent is Said they wouldn't even let us come over and like help him and all of that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then so now closing, and of course Chauvin, he invoked his Fifth Amendment.
Fifth Amendment. He was
right. You don't have to testify.
You don't have to testify. You don't. You do not have to testify. That is
what the fuck could that dude say? Is like you got some video with the knee on the back of his neck. So like, what could he say in his defense? So the best thing to do is shut the fuck up. And you're like, what can dude say? And shit. It's like
the thing that's just so damning about just the whole, like besides the whole 9-minute video, 8 minutes and 46 seconds, we saw him kneeling on his neck. Just his reaction, the nonchalant look is like what's burned in my head of him with his hands in his pocket, like this on his knee. The hands in the pocket, just the nonchalant stance, like.
And the whole video, which I watched the whole body cam video, like not recently. I watched it when it first came out, like 6 months ago. When I watched that whole video, and it's very bizarre. That video was strange as shit. It's like this.
Can't see the whole body cam video.
When they approached the car, and George Floyd was already like disoriented, like confused. He was scared. There's a lot going on in that video.
Like he was, from what I heard, they was like, wasn't he just getting over COVID? I think they said.
He did have COVID, much like myself, just getting over.
So you can speak of recovering from COVID. Because I never had, but I mean, you can.
I wish I had COVID survivor. I'm definitely getting that made. Yeah, that shirt. I'm definitely getting that shirt made. But it's a number of things. They brought in the guy from the store that called the cops. That was one of the witnesses they brought in too.
Yeah.
He regrets calling the cop because he blamed it. I don't blame the guy. If somebody slips you a fake 20, you probably should call the cops. Like it's not his fault that Derek Chauvin did what he did and shit. It's like but a lot of people were coming down on that guy. I'm like, the cops. The cops fucked up. It's not the store owner's fault. I don't. Yeah.
Because like I said, I'm gonna be transparent. I worked in retail for like 12 years. 7 of those years I worked in the book room, so I had to count money. I know, like I can spot a fake bill from a mile away. I've gotten fake checks come across my desk. I've gotten counterfeit counterfeit $100 bills. I've gotten people come in with like credit cards that obviously didn't belong to them.
Like I said, by the time it gets to the book room, it's too late for all of that.
It's too late, exactly. It's too late.
If you were working a register, somebody slipped it, you realized it, but they already out the door. Like, what'd you call it?
Already out the door.
Before you could say, "Hey, come back," but hey, sir, like before you could do that, they already gone. And like,
and then when in doubt, somebody has called me. Like, I'm like, well, an employee did call me, called the book room. Like, when they weren't, sir, they was like, "Naima, can you come here?" And then I have come, and I look like, "Oh no, this ain't." I was like, "Good, you called me," because I was like, "Nah." And then like if like I said, most people, like if you do call them out on a fake bill, most people don't want to call the scene. They just
gonna leave the merchant.
They slink away without a scene.
Talking about the ones that already like finished checking out, and then you realize like, oh shit, this is fake, but they already out the door. What can you do then? It's like
it's on the chin at that point. It's on the chin because like, the thing that we say is like that. Like I mean, I worked at a huge retailer. I wasn't a little mom and pop. I was at a huge retailer.
But a little different situation because I believe the George Floyd, the store, that was like a mom and pop.
It was like a little mom and pop. It was like it was a
fake 20, like it would like piss somebody like that off.
It was a mom and pop. I worked in
a big ass store, like, and like it's not even your money. You like working, you like just work, so you don't care. It's like like somebody slips you a fake 100, you're like, oh well, it's like that,
And that's one thing they taught us in our training is like they told us if you know it's a situation, even if somebody is trying to steal stuff, if somebody is already out the door, do not be a hero because people have guns and stuff. They was like, don't be no hero. Your life is more than that. Do not go out there trying to apprehend people. That's not your job. It's not my job to apprehend people.
Job
I
always say if somebody robs, please look at that shit. So But when it's your store, your mind works.
That's what they told. They said if you ever get like.
Once again, something else.
I've never was in that situation.
I said I gotta finish my Oz memoirs because I had a gun in my head before. Like it's a lot of wild shit. That's what made me quit. Last time I ever worked retail, I had a gun in my head. I quit that night. I quit
And
that.
I worked with serious money when I had to count over $100,000 in cash one day. I had to count that, and that was in our office. And I'm sitting here, I'm like nervous as hell. Like I was like, Arbor needs to come in. You know, I was like, I don't like this. I don't like having this much money.
That would have to be an inside job for them to like get into that. Like if you got Rob counting that, it would probably be an inside job. Somebody would have to know know where you were at. Like it was.
I didn't like having that kind of responsibility. I was like, nope.
It have to be an inside job.
Yeah, but you know, but like I said, knock on wood, nothing.
Yeah, the store owner did like say that he wished he never had called the cops because it caused so
because I mean, and I get like the guilt that he like, but that's not like you said, it's not his
yes, because Derek Chauvin being a shitty human being got nothing to do with
it. That's not his fight. That wasn't his fight. Like I said, like he should not feel, you know, like it's his fault that unfortunately George Floyd met his demise. He should not feel like that.
Which caused all of the chain reaction and all the other stuff going on. It's like
the unrest and all that, but he should not feel like that. I said it's not like you said, perfect thing. It's not his fault that Derek Chauvin was a shitty human being. That's not your fault.
That's
it's
on
not.
Chauvin. Yeah, that's
right. You had no control of that. You thought you would, and even like the boy who told his manager he was going to offer to take it out of his pocket. He was like, "Well, I can give the $20, you know." And then he was like, "No, you know, we need to go in, you know," because the boy was like, he was going to just, because I mean, he did take the fake bill, so he felt like, okay,
it was his fault. The one who got conned and said, "Yeah, felt he got
right. I'll take it out of me," but like, just the whole thing is just bizarre. Like, still, like, a $20, like $20 worth of merchandise is not a lot. I mean, especially not being funny in these mom and pop stores. The markup is super high in these stores. They mark everything way up. So I was like, $20 worth of merchandise wouldn't be that much. So you kneeled on somebody's neck for 20. Like, even if it was a fake bill and he did intentionally slip it in, it's just like, did it really have to come to all that? That's just my thing. Did that really have to be the answer to what? To that problem? Did that really have to be it?
But closing arguments begin Monday. We're gonna see what happens. I don't want to. Do you want to take some guesses? I don't want to take. I kind of don't. But it's our fucking forum. We can. I don't see how Chauvin is found and not guilty for this. I think it would definitely have to be some fuckery for him.
I think he is going to get time. I think he's probably going to get. I think he's probably going to get the lesser.
I think.
So I know they attach multiple charges on it, and that's why prosecutors do that, because when people keep on saying it's
he's not going to get first degree murder.
No, it's not first degree murder. It's not.
He might get third degree murder. Definitely, man.
That's what I think.
I think he might even get the third degree murder charge.
I think third. That's what I'm leaning towards, because
that's a third degree, and it's like manslaughter charges. Like he the manslaughter 100%. The third,
manslaughter definitely.
Third, he probably get the third as well.
But third degree murder is like we was at my house. We was drinking. We got into a fight over dominoes or whatever. I slapped you. You hit your head. You died. I wasn't trying to kill you, but it happened. But I still have to be held accountable because you died with me, and like a fight ensued or whatever. So had we not been fighting, then that would not have happened. You dying. Mm-hmm. But first degree murder is like, yeah, I'm a plan. Next time I see this person, I'm like,
I hate Facebook
attorneys,
Facebook lawyers / Twitter lawyers. I hate them motherfuckers. It's like first degree murder is so hard to prove.
So hard to prove
without you've got to pretty much have like a recorded confession for first degree, or have the smoking gun,
gun. It has to actually be a smoking gun.
You gotta have me on video saying that I'm gonna kill that motherfucker. And then if they end up dead, like now you got me. They gotta be.
You got something.
They gotta be. Yeah.
Or another one.
Murder. They got you on tape saying that you're gonna kill that motherfucker.
Or if you have
enough dead the next day and shit, like you probably did it and shit like that.
Maybe you have enough circumstantial, like if you knew that the people had beef and then the person went missing, their body was found. Then you see me at Lowe's on video the day that the person went missing, and I'm buying tarp, I'm buying duct tape, I'm buying shit like that. I'm buying
fire.
You know the murder, the murder stuff. I watch a lot of those shows on Snapped and.
But that's
and
first degree. That is like you gotta prove the intent. You gotta prove that like, my goal and shit was to kill that motherfucker when I left out that day. That's like
you have to have the intent. You have to prove
you don't have that, you're not gonna get a conviction. It's like people don't the way all of this works with the legal system is all about like when you listen to the evidence, it's not just because it's not emotional. It's actually you got to look at the evidence in front of you. That's how it works. And if the evidence says that, yeah, well, we don't know that he intended to kill him. That's why you would get that's why you would get acquitted on that. Yeah, it's like that's you have to
create this much reasonable doubt. That's all you gotta do. Create this much reasonable doubt.
I said, and I haven't watched the trial, so like somebody that watched it, but they probably know better than me. But from like the headlines I've read, I don't think the defense proved
they
proved. I don't think they created enough doubt about what Chauvin did that day. I don't think they. Like I said from the headlines, I didn't watch, but from the headlines, I don't think that the defense created enough and shit. So
because you gotta create some reasonable doubt, which is why, like I said, going back years ago with the OJ trial, with that, it was like.
It wasn't even definitively proved whether he did it or not. It's like
if this was able to create that reasonable
tons of circumstantial evidence. It was nothing concrete that proved.
It was nothing concrete tying him.
Stabbed those two people. It was nothing to prove.
And then the reasonable doubt
to prove that shit. Yeah.
And here's reasonable doubt. Could O.J. Simpson have gone over here to Brentwood, killed these people, and took a plane out because he went out of town that day? Could he have done all that?
Chicago, yeah, that's
he came. All that.
Moved to Chicago.
So imagine if you had to drive from the south side to the north side of Chicago and then go out to O'Hare or whatever, something like that. It's like, could you do all that in that time frame? Could you do all that? And if you calculate, if you're like, yeah, like technically you could do it like in that time frame, but it would be a real stretch because it's like we know LA traffic is like Chicago traffic. It's unpredictable.
And even so like the DNA evidence is even the DNA evidence is like we found hairs and all that. OJ used to live there. They were married. So of course you're gonna find OJ's DNA in the house. It was like so much circumstantial evidence, but it was nothing concrete. Because like with that is like, well, what about the DNA? Like, well, like if you live somewhere, like you're probably gonna have DNA there. Like because they were married. He used to live in the house with her.
Johnny Cochran hit. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit. He had the glove. He had it gone. Yeah,
that was on the prosecution when they did the glove thing. That was ridiculous. But
it's Darden.
We all have our opinions, and like I 100% believe OJ did that. But the evidence presented by the prosecution. If I saw that evidence, I probably would have acquitted too. I'm like, we don't know 100%. Like, it looks like he did it, but like, how do we
did too? But they didn't
really know. Like, that's how I'm going to look at the evidence. Like, yeah,
right,
probably did it, but how do we really know? Like, that's
you gotta be able to prove it in the court. Like, just can't be. I have a gut feeling. My emotions are telling me. You're not going to win on your emotions or your gut.
I don't like him more. Yeah.
You're not going to win on that. You're not.
He's black or he's white, so you should be convinced. It's like that. No, that's
not like you're going to get
the evidence in front of you, and then like decide from the actual evidence that you've been presented in court.
If that's your defense,
look at that.
If that's your proof and you plan to go to court, you're going to lose a lot. If you just base everything on your emotion, on your gut, you're going to lose a lot. You are. You're going to lose. You're going to be on the losing side. But it's kind of like we're kind of waiting, like, like that, like to see what's going to happen. It's like
because if it's an acquittal and shit, then I expect the country to burn down to the ground and shit. That's what
I doubt it's an acquittal, but
that's what I'm saying. Like I said, it would have to be some real fuckery if it was an acquittal. But I don't see why it would be fuckery.
Probably gets the bare minimum of sentencing, and then they gonna scoop him away like what they did with the Laquan McDowell, because the guy did get convicted, but like we never heard anything about it again. I don't know what happened to the cop.
And Chauvin might probably get more time than Laquan than the cop that killed Laquan McDonald, just because
he got scooped away
because of all the unrest that as a result of this. You probably get some jail time. Like
he get some time, but they gonna scoop him away. He gonna be like protective custody, whatever. He gonna get scooped away. He's gonna get scooped away. Like they gonna try to hide him. Basically, they're gonna try to hide him. You know, he's not gonna be in Jam Pop. He's not gonna be in there. He's not.
Since we're talking about Minnesota, let's talk about Dante Wright, like the latest Minnesota.
What's going on in Minnesota?
In Minnesota, I'm about to it's a joke, but I don't care. Minnesota ain't been the same since Prince died.
It hasn't. Thank you. Thank you. I agree.
I'm saying.
And the anniversary of Prince's death just passed, April 16th. Yeah, I agree. Shit has not been the same since Prince died. I agree wholeheartedly. But it's like what? Like when I saw that story,
I don't even remember the names. Was it Brooklyn Heights? I don't remember the name of the fucking place. Like it's some kind of suburb of Minneapolis. It was Brooklyn something. I forgot.
Yeah. I want to say Heights, maybe.
I don't remember. I know it's some suburb of Minneapolis. Well, I'm gonna break down just the facts once again because once again, I hate all the noise that gets and the narratives. Like I'm a member of the media, so I know how the media works and shit. The media is gonna push the version of the story they want.
That's what it sounds like. After a while, you get Charlie Brown. Wah, 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 wah.
I like just presenting the facts on shit. That's like what my goal is. Just like here's what happened. You can make your own opinion based on this. But it's not my job to like shape the narrative as a member. Like that, and that's unfortunately in the business I'm in. That's what motherfuckers do and shit. They try to shape it. But because originally he was shot and killed because he had a fucking air freshener hanging. This is not the story and shit. It's like it's not the story.
Time out. Flag on the play. Where the hell do people get these stories from? Like that's just my thing. Stop sharing memes. Stop sharing stories that have no actual factual proof that this even happened.
When the parties involved say that didn't happen, somehow that's still the story. I don't know. We really want to go down this rabbit hole, like, or should we? Let's do it.
Like, stop it. Stop it. Come on now.
This is one of those episodes I might look back and regret, but I don't care. Like, we go on there. We already didn't open that Pandora's box.
We're not going to regret it because we're speaking the truth. We're dealing in truth.
Let's go there. It's just like to this day did Jacob Blake have a knife? Like, so people say, yeah, he didn't, he did, but Jacob Blake himself said he had a knife. And so like why are we still debating that? It's like, yeah. The Breonna Taylor, like, did the cops knock? Did they not knock? Kenneth Walker said he heard a knock. So like whether they announced themselves as police, that's the question. Like, yeah, that's what it's, but they definitely knocked because like Walker said he heard a knock at the door and said, yeah.
And like I said, there's situations.
So if he says he heard a knock, then what are all these like people protest saying they didn't knock? They didn't knock.
Yeah, so I think they knocked, but they maybe they didn't announce themselves. And you're on.
I think they probably did announce themselves, and Walker did. It was like 2:00 in
the middle of the night, and you're in if your bedroom is all the way in the back, your door is in the front.
Probably here because they did have a no knock warrant, so technically they didn't have to knock. So like they knocked. Why would you like knock if you have a warrant to not knock? So like if they knocked, they'll still identify them. I don't see like it was like you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They have permission to enter without knocking. Like why knock? It's like yeah. Hey, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you just kick it in? So they probably did knock announce. He didn't hear the announcement, heard the knock though. It's like disoriented in the middle of the night. Like I know I am when I wake up and shit. Yeah.
And then you already
knock on my door and they say like who they are. I wouldn't hear them. I would hear the knock, but I wouldn't hear them say, "Hey, police." I wouldn't hear that part.
And then it's stuff like with her ex-boyfriend. So it's like you were already on edge about him because it could have been.
That's him. What I believe. That's what I believe Walker said. That's who he thought it was.
He thought it was him.
And
so
it was, like the guy that they actually arrested, the Jamarcus character. Mm-hmm. Is like he thought it was him or his people like coming to.
Yeah.
So that's which is why he got the weapon.
Scary. Yeah, that could be scary.
I got here knocking the door like
in the middle of the night.
Police aren't gonna knock politely. It's probably like
they're not gonna.
So you hear that, and so
hello, can I come in? It's not gonna be that.
And said, yeah, that's what it was. He heard that and thought it was.
I mean, boom, boom, boom.
So he grabbed his gun, and then like when they did kick in, and that's when the shot. And that's how all of that happened. Yeah. But like, just tell the facts like it is. You don't have to make up facts and shit. Mm-hmm. That's the point I'm making. It's like the actual facts are like, yeah, like good enough. You don't
are
have
strong
to, like,
enough to support.
you don't have to sprinkle any bullshit on the actual story.
Little lies on top, lies.
Yeah, we don't need any bullshit sprinkled on. Let's just tell the story how it actually happened. Like with this story, he was pulled over. He had an expired plate. That's why he was pulled over.
A lot of people have
right, yeah.
I see him every day. I see people with like
all the time. We
December 2020.
We got people with expired plates. I'm not naming no names, but we know people like that. Not me, not you, but we definitely know people with expired plates.
I don't ride dirty.
I ride clean, yeah. I don't ride. Let me rephrase that. I don't ride dirty no more. I don't ride dirty anymore. Like now I ride clean, but in the past.
I've never rode dirty. Never. I've never rode dirty in my life. Never.
It's Derek Chauvin that plead the fifth on that. But what was I saying? That this so controversial, this episode.
Yeah, the expired tags. Okay.
Expired tags is why he pulled him over. And then when they ran his information, he had a warrant out for
okay.
For like robbery, for like armed robbery, some shit like something involving a gun. I know. Yeah.
Let me interject real quick, which is why even if you go a little bit over the speed limit or if you run a stop sign, that's why they always run your plates, because in the event that you might have a warrant.
You might be a serial killer. It's like
serial killer.
You have to like run it no matter what.
You have to run it no matter what. And then if it's like a bullshit thing, like okay, you were going 6 miles over the speed limit, I'll let you off with a warrant. Just be careful.
A lot of times, if they pull you over just to run your shit. A lot of times they don't even tend to write you a ticket.
Yeah, you ran that stop sign.
And they say, okay, slow down.
Just be careful next time.
Yeah, slow down. Yeah, say go down.
Just with the stop signs, they like make complete stops at the stop sign. Make a complete stop. Don't roll through the stop sign.
Or the speeding too is like, just slow down. Yeah, I'm not going to do a ticket. Just slow down. A lot of times.
Yeah. That's what it be. Yeah.
But yeah, there's a warrant out for his arrest. Okay. And when they tried to like arrest him, and that's when he tried to get in his car and drive away after that. And then I forgot the cop's name, or I don't have it in front of me. If you find it, look it up for me.
Kim Potter, I think.
Okay, yeah, Kim
Potter. Yeah, Potter, yes.
So if you watched it, like I said, I don't know if you've seen the video. Unfortunately, I have seen this video.
I haven't.
By accident, I saw it because I was like reading an article. Because like I said, I've chosen to not watch these videos. I'm over it, like watching like this bullshit.
The description, I've seen like the narrative.
I'm explaining what I saw. Is like, and the stuff that's in the video is there. Is like she did tell him you have a warrant, and that's why he bolted. It wasn't just like the black man like with the police like he did have a warrant, which she told him, and that's when Which at this point, and I'm gonna interject real quick. Which at this point, everybody is doing what they're supposed to be doing up until this point, because okay, he has an expired plate. That is a reason to stop somebody. Expired plate. I run your information. Oh, you got a warrant. I come over. You got a warrant, so now I gotta arrest you. He was a young man. I get it. I'm not going to jail. Shit, I'm getting in the car. I'm taking. I get all of that. I say everybody is reacting in the normal way thus far. I'm just saying that thus far, everybody's reacting in a normal in what you would do in that situation. Everybody's reacting the correct way. Everyone is like as a young. Then when I'm trying to subdue him, like she says multiple times, like taser, taser, taser. She screams that, so she pulled her taser, what she thought was her taser. Let's rephrase that shit. Yeah, she pulled what she thought was her taser. It wasn't. She pulled out her Glock and shit. It was her fucking her sidearm, her pistol. She pulled. And then fired a single shot, like when you tase somebody, you pull it's like one shot.
Things come out, like,
barbs come out is like she didn't fill them with holes. Like she pulled the trigger once, and it was a gun. And then like soon as she shoots him, like she immediately realized like, oh shit, like I shot him. Like all of this is in the video. So like, because it's a conspiracy theories that it's a lot. Like I find that hard to believe. You can call me naive or like whatever, but I find it hard to believe that this chick planned all of that in advance. Like, I'm going to kill me a nigga and I'm going to let scream taser and then act surprised when I don't believe that. It's like, I believe she like, I'm not, let's break it down. It's like I said, it wasn't a murder. It was a manslaughter.
It wasn't a murder. It wasn't a murder. It was not
manslaughter. Yeah.
Right.
And I think I would add another charge on that too, like as a gun guy, negligence discharge as well too, because which is also a crime. Like if I'm in my house, like I fire off a bullet accidentally, even if it don't hit nobody, I'm going to jail. That's a negligence discharge. Somebody, yeah. So negligence discharge, yeah. It's like you didn't shoot anybody, but you could have. Like guns are not toys and shit. Yeah. Oh, your gun goes off accidentally, you're going to jail.
So you actually can weigh in on this because you are, like I said, you're transparent. You are a gun owner. You NRA. You're Second Amendment. You've always carried. You always have. Since you've been an adult, you've always carried. Have you ever used a taser before? Have you ever held a taser?
I've never, not a taser, not the one. I've like the stun gun is all I've done. I know. I've never used a taser, the ones that you fire at somebody. I've never handled one of those.
I've never held either. So I'm just trying to get like when you hold a gun in your hand and it has ammunition, like what does that feel like when you're holding? Because I know like what you've told me. You say it's not like Area 51. It's not a police train. You say if you're actually in the range and you're actually shooting at the targets, you
especially depending on the caliber, yeah, you definitely feel the weight and then the recoil, like is
Yeah, you tell me that. You said when you pull that trigger, you feel it. You feel
firing guns is painful. It hurts. Like it's like especially the higher the caliber. It's like a 22 or something that's kind of lightweight, but the higher caliber, you're gonna feel that. You're gonna feel like you worked out when you like go to the range and shit. It hurts for shooting a gun. But here's the thing, like where the fuckery with her is like the way it is, like typically you carry your pistol on your strong side, you carry your taser on your weak side, which is me being right-handed. Like mine's gonna be on my right side, like my gun. Your taser you're gonna have on the opposite side. So you like you gotta reach over to grab the taser so you know you're getting the right one. So you don't just you pull in from there, you know, like, nah, that's my gun there.
Yeah, because most people know that most people are right-handed in this country. So most people, your strong arm is going to be your right hand. Most people are. So you'll have
even if it's the opposite, like you're going to have your setup like that, you're going to have your pistol here. And then you got to reach over to your right side.
You got to cross it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if I'm right-handed, so like on my left, so I would have to cross to grab my taser.
Like if I'm going for a taser, I have to I can't accidentally grab the wrong weapon. So I have to grab the taser. Yeah.
If I grab from here, then it's like this is my strong, so I know it's my strong. And I get that police only have a split second to make a decision. Like this is not
another video that been circulating to where like it's during a police stop that happened around that same time, which is not being talked about for like obviously like don't have the race factor. Well, like he pulls this one guy over and the guy he pulls an AR-15 out and like lights the cop up and kills him. So like you can't because like people don't look like on the police side is like you do have a split second to react.
You do have a split second.
Bolts and shit is like you can't.
I get that. Your job is
not the movies and shit. Yeah,
your job is dangerous. It's like reason why I'm not a police officer. I don't want to have to.
I don't know what I'm approaching when you pull somebody's car over. You don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. Right. I would never be a cop. Yeah,
like a routine stop. Maybe like, oh, you got a tail light out, and then this person just committed armed robbery, and they think you trying to arrest them for that. They fill you with hose when you just trying to pull them over for a tail light. Mm-hmm. Yeah, your tail light's busted, and they just blast you because they panic. So, I mean, I get that. Like, the job is dangerous, and people who do sign up for it, it's like you have to have balls, cojones, whatever you want to call it, guts. You have to have all that to sign up to be an officer. Mm-hmm. I'm not knocking that, but it's like it does have to be accountability held when.
And which the cop? What's her name again?
Kim Potter.
Kim Potter, she's resigned first of all, like so she'd never be a cop again, and now she's been arrested and charged. Like she's out on bail now, I believe, but she has been arrested and charged with manslaughter.
That's not a whoopsie daisy. That's not a whoopsie daisy. It's just not like a whoopsie daisy is I put onions on your burger and you didn't want onions. Mm-hmm. That's a whoopsie daisy. Even with food, sometimes you gotta be careful because if I say no peanuts, then I'm allergic to peanuts. And you give me peanuts.
Yeah. Or if you got a seafood allergy, like
exactly.
And you cooked like your food in the same pot that you cook seafood in. It's like
exactly. So we have a family member that we have to separate his stuff because like he's very allergic. As soon as he touches seafood, he just breaks out in hives everywhere. Mm-hmm. He can't even be around it at all. Like we have to keep him separate from it. He breaks out really bad from it.
But that's my whole thing. And then like it was once again like Minnesota is led to the unrest once again, like justice for Dante Wright. And saw Ben Crump's ass out there. Whenever you see him, like I'm over that dude. It's like we're gonna talk about all of that too. We're gonna talk about that too. Like I'm going down the rabbit fucking hole today. Like a lot of stuff I've been avoiding for this last several weeks. Like we're gonna talk about them.
So we can't avoid it much more. We just
let's finish up with this particular Dante Wright shooting, and then I'm gonna talk about Ben Crump. Yeah. But yeah, like because like I said, once again, with once again, a lot of the businesses that just got back on their feet after the George Floyd protests from last summer.
Almost a whole year later.
They gave the same businesses got looted. Like, yeah, some of the exact same stores. Some of them have gotten looted again. And I know people say, yeah, well, yeah, you can't put a human life is worth more than property and all that. But like, I'm just putting the facts out there, like what happened. That's all I'm doing. Shit. And,
it's just this world that we're in. It's just so it's just mentally, physically, emotionally, everything is just so draining. Like, just all of this, like everybody, like I know that we're still in a global pandemic. We're still under this pandemic umbrella.
I know.
We're still under this umbrella. Like COVID ain't open. I mean, ain't over yet. COVID ain't over.
Definitely not over.
Definitely not over for you, right?
I'm just recovering.
Right. It's like it ain't over. This shit ain't over. It's not. So I get it. Like emotionally, everybody is kind of on edge. Everybody is like, I think we all need therapy. Like everybody needs to have some sort of therapy or something. Everybody needs something to unleash things because we all need to take care of our mental. Like we all got some shit going on up here. All of us do. So
and the family, and of course the family, they're gonna look at it different. And like the family is the ones that really have all the right to like say how they feel. Like all these other motherfuckers are just out here just like trying to get Jordans and TVs. Like fuck them. I don't care about them. It's like, the families I get because the family is like saying that this is not enough. The charges aren't enough for the cop for killing Dante because you lost your family member, your son or your brother, whoever. Like the family member.
Wasn't he a father as well?
Yeah, like he probably has small kids, so they might not know what's going on yet. But I know like because they saying like with that she should get like we just said, 1st degree murder and life in prison and all of that is like. But
if she gets 1st degree murder, it's gonna be acquitted, and then the whole city is gonna burn down. Don't do that.
Yeah, but as the family, I get why they would say that because like you're at the most emotional. So like you see like manslaughter, you can be like that ain't enough. Like So you might be out in like 10 years, even if you get convicted. It's like, our son is dead forever. So, but the way like that's how I get like why them, but
I get that nothing is ever going to be enough because nothing, no amount of anything, no amount of jail time, no amount of
why Ben Crump's ass is there. Like, Ben Crump only is there about the money and shit. Then
no amount of anything is going to bring your child back. As a mother of a black son, it's like that's a painful thing. Like having the worry about that your black child may be targeted. That's scary. That's scary. It is, but no amount of anything is going to bring them back. So even if you do get a $50 million settlement, it ain't going to bring them back. That's not going to fill that void of your child.
Let's talk about people profiting.
The rest of their life in jail. That's not going to bring your child back. It's not.
Let's talk about people profiting off of black pain and all that. We're going to talk.
Oh my God.
We talked about we mentioned briefly on the podcast. Did I mention it on the podcast? We might have not even mentioned it. Me and you might have just been talking personally. It all runs together after a while and shit.
Yeah.
About the Grammys, with Lil Baby, like his performance at the Grammys, couple months now. I don't remember when the Grammys was. Either a month or a couple months ago. I don't remember.
Yeah.
The Grammys passed, and you had said Lil Baby performed, and then during his performance, he brought out Tamika Mallory and Killer Mike. And and I said, and I posted powerful performance because it was. It's like because it basically was talking about all the George Floyd stuff and all of that.
Yeah.
That's what the song is about, and that's what the performance is about. Mm-hmm. The bigger picture is the song,
Yeah. And, I like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then here's where it got the very next day, Samaria Rice, with the mother of Tamir Rice,
Samir Rice,
first kid who's like, a young boy that was shot, had a toy gun, and it kind of like was at the beginning of all of this, the BLM stuff, like. Mm-hmm. And then she called out Tamika Mallory for being at the Grammys. Like, look at this clout chaser. It's like, did she lose something in this fight? I don't think so. That's the problem. They take us for a joke. That's why we never have justice, because of shit like this. That's what Samaria Rice was saying. And that's when she started calling out, naming names for like all of these activists, because you do got to start asking yourself, who died? Like, people died, of course, but like, who died and made these people like the face of the black?
Shaun King.
Shaun King and Ben Trump and Tamika Mallory. Like, where did these people come from?
And then my thing is, donations are being made, so are they going to the families?
Guess who asked about that? Michael Brown Sr., father of Michael Brown. That's what Ferguson. Ferguson was what really like spearheaded all of this. Sure, the Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman happened before, but like what really set this movement into motion was Michael Brown.
Because he was an 18-year-old kid who got shot.
That's what said. That's the hands up, don't shoot. That's all of that. Yeah, that's Ferguson. All of that started there and shit. Yeah, and Michael Brown Sr. saying that BLM raised, like, after the George Floyd and all that, they raised like $90 million. Like, after all that, it's like, we ain't seen a penny of that. It's like, we ain't got shit. It's like, and that's where he's like, like, where's his money going? Like, we haven't gotten anything. So it's really the families, the ones who actually lost something, they really like questioning this movement.
It's the money going places where it needs to go, like things that I feel like we've always said, Black communities, we need better quality of businesses in our community. We need
where's the BLM groceries? Where's BLM Where's BLM farms? It's like, where's this money going to that stuff?
We need banks, because
where's the BLM bank?
We need that, because it's like, if you're a person and you don't have good credit and you have
you want to buy a house and you try to get money, somebody to lend you money to buy a house.
You can't even get this with bad credit. You can't even get a cell phone if you got bad credit. You can't even get a phone.
Yeah.
So it's like, where is that at to help people who need that second chance, that second, third chance? They need people that just aren't going to just toss them by the wayside. We need financial literacy in the Black community. That's what we need to educate ourselves.
Shout out Dr. Umar Johnson. Like, he's not part of the but like, where's the BLM school? Just like the Umar Johnson.
Education, the form of like charter school.
Where's BLM University? That's what I'm saying. Like, where are the schools at? It's like, where's this money going?
It does raise questions.
Mm-hmm.
It does raise questions.
And that's what Samaria Wright was calling. It's like, okay, I'm up here like watching Tamika Mallory like hanging out with Beyonce. I'm just exaggerating. Yeah. Like, that's what the way you read the article without seeing the show. Like, that's where your mind goes. You're up here like rubbing elbows with Beyonce and hanging out with Cardi B. Like, hey girl, and I was like, that's all Samaria Wright saw it. That's all Samaria Wright saw the shit. It's like, like, meanwhile we out here still struggling. It's like, you hanging out at the Grammys and shit. Like, what's really going on?
Meanwhile, birthdays, Christmases, everything is passing by. And I'm like, each time I'm reminded that my son's not here for his birthday. My son would have been 16 today. My son would have been 18 today. My son would have graduated high school today. Like, you're not, you see what I mean? Like, you have to live with that memory.
Wonder what college you would have went to. You start thinking that kind of. But then that timing couldn't have been any worse for that Tamika Mallory and Samaria Rice calling her out, because the very next day and shit, Tamika Mallory got a fucking Cadillac commercial. Like, the timing couldn't have been any worse for that Cadillac. And I get it, of course, like, you want to get compensated. Yeah, you didn't see the Cadillac commercial. Yeah,
I did not.
Like, I've been an activist over 25. Yeah, she was basically like saying like, basically like the Black women like running shit. It was not for the Cadillac, and they show her getting out of the Escalade and all of that. Is like I was like, your timing couldn't have been any worse. It's like you kind of like
way on that.
kind of proving Samaria Rice right when right like the next day and shit after that. I think that was strategically timed. I think that's why she was at the Grammys, because she knew she had that commercial coming up.
Right.
She didn't expect the Samaria Rice shit to happen.
Rice to come
that kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
I definitely would have tried to delay that. So let's not air that Cadillac.
Let's not air that.
Weeks, yeah. Let's like push it back to the story dies down a little bit. Then let's air it like
stay on the ad K.
Yeah, you know what? Let's push that story, push that commercial back a couple weeks in the story. Right. It was like the next day, cause like, well, okay, wow. And I drive a Cadillac, so I don't mind Tamika Mallory. I would love to have a Cadillac commercial. I'm a capitalist.
Yeah.
But, when you're out here like as you're an activist and all of that stuff, it does look fishy when like you out here profiting like that while these families are still struggling.
Grieving and struggling, because like that's the worst thing. Like I said, this is where I talk about financial literacy again. Why we need to educate ourselves, because let's be real, a lot of people don't have insurance. A lot of people don't have money. It's like somebody unexpectedly dies, you doing a GoFundMe. You don't have it planned where if something happens in the event of my death, then I have estates to give away. I have this. I have funds set aside. I have trust funds set aside. You don't have that. So
and
still struggling. You grieving and you say that's worse. You grieving and you have no money. So you grieving and struggling at the same time.
And when it started becoming obvious with me, like I'll speak from the inside because I know shit. Like the Tamika Mallory thing, like I've been eyeing her for like about 6 months now. Like when it started to become obvious for me and shit, is I work with the Breakfast Club. A lot of you,
right?
And like. And they like it's Charlamagne in particular, but like that whole crew in general, they just like they just ride her like they just like they love like you tell like if you could tell the agenda the way they like put her on a pedestal and all of that shit. Like, Charlamagne once called her like, yeah, she's my leader and your leader too. Like it's like you're doing too much.
Love.
Doing too much. Like, she's a quintessential, bow down to her. She's the quintessential leader. She's the voice of Black folks. Like they kind of push that agenda. And I'm like, when did she become the voice of Black folks? Like y'all, you doing too much. And then like when all this,
I'm like, I don't like people don't need to speak for me. I can speak for my damn self.
Yeah.
I'm the voice of me.
Man is the voice.
I'm the voice of me. Thank you.
We got a platform. If we want to say something, we just started to do a podcast episode.
Exactly. I don't need no one to speak for me. I don't.
But like that's when I started noticing, when I started paying attention to them, and like they always plugging her book that's coming up. Is like y'all talk a lot about Tamika Mallory on this show.
But she has a book coming out too. Oh.
Yeah, she got a book coming out. Yeah, so y'all talk about this woman a whole lot. And in her defense, like I'm not burying Tamika Mallory, especially for having a Cadillac commercial. I drive a Cadillac. I said that before, but yeah, with Tamika Mallory, she did say that she never mentioned Tamir Rice or anything in her speeches. Because a lot of these people do like with the speeches. That's why with just to say her name and all of that stuff is a lot of y'all doing that for Breonna Taylor or for yourself. Like, yeah, why you really like you trying to draw attention to yourself? A lot of these people so-called that. And Tamika Mallory did say she's never mentioned Tamir, and like. And I said I take her word for it. I haven't looked at every Tamika Mallory speech, obviously. Right. If she says that, well, I never talked about her son, like, and because like Tamika Mallory's thing, the person she mostly was identified with was with Breonna Taylor, and like she's close with their family. So if her family gave their blessing to talk about it, she has every right to talk about it. But if you haven't met with like any like Samaria Rice about talking about her son, like guess what? Just keep her son's name out of your mouth.
Exactly.
Yeah. But so that's why I say I want with Breonna Taylor is mostly who Tamika, like she went down to Kentucky, like there. I think she moved there temporarily to like work with the family. So so with her and is the Breonna Taylors who she's mostly talked about in the media. Some of these other stories I haven't seen her talk a lot about. So that's what it is. That's when you thought it was over then. Are we done with that story? Or are we like,
yeah, we're done with like I said, because like I said, now we know Kim Potter is out on bail, right? You said
out on bail, got manslaughter charges.
And the fact that she had 26 years, that's like that really doesn't look good. Because like you're a seasoned officer.
Like that shows you that how shitty, like once again, we need better training. You gotta know the difference between a fucking gun and a taser. Like you can't do that shit. It's like, come
Right.
on.
That's not like that's like that. Like I said, it's not like I gave you ketchup on your burger. You didn't want ketchup. It's not that.
It's
It's
not
not
like, oops, my bad. It's like, nah.
whoopsie. It's not a whoopsie. It's not.
Just when we were failed, then this had happened a few weeks back, but the video finally came
Video
out.
came out in our own backyard.
Adam Toledo right here in Chicago.
So
13. Now you
13.
said
So
you watched this video. I didn't.
I watched the video.
I'm gonna let you talk about Adam Toledo more.
And I had a little bit of intel before it because CPS, like I said, I have a child on CPS. They send an email to us, both to my work email and to my personal email, saying like, yes, the CPS family is aware that we lost one of our own, Adam Toledo. And I was like, oh, and I thought that it was just like stupid stuff like gang people shooting and then a baby get hit in the crossfire. I thought it was that. So they didn't break down the story. It just said like, we lost one of our own in CPS. That's all it said in the article from a CPS president. Then when I'm driving, I see cinder blocks blocking the ways again. Remember how the George Floyd, when that happened, they put up the cinder blocks to like deter people from looting places. I see the cinder blocks are back up. I was like, what's going on? Then I look on Facebook and I see police released a video of them killing a 13. They killed a 13-year-old boy. I
got a little bit of intel before the story.
They killed a 13-year-old boy.
I got a little bit of intel in advance too, just like you before this, because like I work in at the media school, and then the administrators there told us is like, hey, that video's about to come out, so just watch it back, kind of like be careful, because it shit might get crazy out here. That's the story I got from like the education department. So like I kind of knew something was what I would say. Yeah, they about to release the video on that boy. So be careful. That's what they told.
So his death happened. It occurred on March 29th. Mm-hmm. The video came out this past Thursday. So the 15th of April, I want to say. Yeah, I think that was April 15th. So when the video came out,
it was definitely Thursday because the same day that I was clear with I was back.
Clear, yeah. So it's April 15th. So so I watched the video, and the video, okay, it's like from 2 something in the morning, 2:30, 2:40 in the morning. So it's the middle of the night, and on the video you can see the police is driving. They get out the car. They start running down an alley. They're like, hey, stop. Put your fucking hands up. Put your fucking, they're like screaming for him to put his hands up. So he was like walking with another guy who they said was 21. So he was with a 21-year-old.
I'm going to give my theory on all of that, but go ahead.
And I think the 21-year-old may have had gang ties. I'm not sure.
I think pause here. Like, let's just talk here before you get to the rest. About the guy, I believe the gun that was there belonged to that 21-year-old. And he gave it to Adam Toledo because him being a kid is like, okay, they'll be less harsh. So even if you get caught, all you doing is they're gonna send you to juvie and get a slap on the wrist. That's what he was there. That's what I think happened with that. Yeah. But
I'll interject here. I used to work with high-risk teens who were in juvie because before I had my current job I did now, the job I was doing before this one, I worked with high-risk kids who had juvenile records. So that's what I used to work with. So
once again, the facts of the story, what I've been seeing is Adam Toledo, yes, he did have a gun. He threw it though. So
yes. Because on the
because that's the story first came out. Yeah, it said 13 unarmed, no gun, but he did have a gun. He threw it away.
But when they slowed the video, like when they showed the video real time, you see him running. He's, hey, put your fucking hands up, and then the boy does turn around, and then like he shoots him immediately, and then he falls down. Mm-hmm. And like I said, once again, it's like it's not cinema.
It's gunfights in real life. They said how long the average gunfight lasts in real life?
0.8 seconds.
Less than 10 seconds.
That's what I said. Like,
in real life gunfights, so like I think it's less than 5. So real gunfight. It's not gonna be a shootout like you see on TV and shit or in a movie where it's like a 30-minute the climax.
First of all, it's like a monologue. Yeah, everybody wants the bad guy. You doing Tony Montana and doing all this, It's not like that in real life.
Or in Face Off, you have Sean Archer and Castor Troy pointing guns at each other through the mirror and shit. It's like Real life, they would have been. At least one of them would have died because like somebody's gonna shoot immediately.
Right. It's not,
like, yeah. So let's just kill each other. Like and you point the gun like, it's not real life is like gunfights are like, yeah, probably like 5 seconds, like maybe
and 10. The fire gun is like 0.8 seconds to fire.
But the actual fun life is like, even if it's like a gunfight back and forth, the whole fight is gonna be less than 10 seconds.
That's right, it's quick. It's very quick. Yeah. So that's why, like I could say, like watching it real time, it was really quick because, like, as soon as he said your foot in hands and he turned around, it was like boom, and he got hit. And immediately when he got hit, and then he ran over and you could see him like they started doing compressions on his chest. He's like, "Where are you hit? Okay, stay with me, buddy. Come on, stay with me, stay with me." You could hear the officer tell him to stay with him, and he was starting to do compressions on his chest. He was, but when they slowed down frame by frame, they showed on the frame when Adam was running, and they showed him that he did have the gun, and that you saw it was like he dropped the gun, and then he turned. But in that motion of if you,
well, yeah, like if you let's put it, look at it from the cop's perspective, like is he dropping the gun or is he reaching for it?
Right.
That's what.
And it's the middle of the night. It was dark, but another thing is the cop did shine a light briefly. The cop did shine a light quickly right before he was shot. He did shine a quick light, but it still was like 2:30 in the morning, 2:40 in the morning, and so like trying to see and decipher something, and you only have a split second. I mean, it's a lot to unpack there. And please stop with the whole thing about, well, why was that boy out? He wasn't out. Just stop. Shut up with that too.
My people.
Are you holier than thou people?
Hey, let's go to my.
Are you holy? Huh?
Let's talk about that.
Are you holier than thou people? Like I said,
my people, my listeners, whoever, like because
let me give you my take.
Okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and finish because I'm about to get fired up.
Let me give you my thing. Like I said, once again, like I said, I worked with kids. I had to go to juvenile court for these kids that I work with. I had a boy who was 12 years old that was on my caseload who had a gun, who was going to people, robbing people. He was 12. He had a gun, was robbing people. This 12-year-old I had another 13-year-old who was when he was out in the suburbs, he was breaking into people's homes, robbing them. So I had kids on my caseload that were involved in sketchy things. Had they been killed by someone, it wouldn't be like, well, they should not have been. They're still 12 and 13-year-old boys. Like they need resources. They need they need something. And
on Power 92's Instagram, this was posted, the justice for Adam Toledo. The little graphic.
Yeah, Mm-hmm.
The comments. Oh, the comments, man. Of course, you had mild ones that like respectful, united, not divided, like that one, and then like the tear emojis, and then it goes. So this guy was shooting at cars, like this child, like yeah, it's I don't even want to read some of these comments. It's like yeah. Here's the one I wanted to really touch on. Here's the one I really wanted to touch on. Like yeah, it's like now I remember last year when the riot started, there was a video of a Latin king saying that if black people come over here, we shooting. So now it's a black versus Mexican thing all of a sudden, like this.
Black and brown war going on.
You mentioned it because some Latin kings last year, which is that's what the Second Amendment is about. If you if somebody tries to come in whether it's your home or if your place of business, yeah, it's like if you're armed, you can that's what it's about.
I don't want to say that, but they look like they were Middle Eastern. The guys that were on Stony Island at the cell phone shop on 74th and Stony Island, they had their AK-47s.
And apparently that same thing was happening over in the Mexican neighborhood. I forget which one, but somebody did. I do remember that. Said Latin kings out there with their guns saying, yeah, if y'all come over here, we shooting y'all. Guess what? Just don't go over there. Then. It's not brain surgery. Don't go try to loot their stores. If you see they got guns, just leave.
And that's why, and what's that?
It's like in seeing in Rosewood and shit when after like when they tried to cross into other towns, they tried to leave Rosewood and go into other towns. They had their line there, all the guys with their guns pointed.
Don't cross the line. Don't cross the gun line, boss.
Yeah, like don't come in here with that bullshit. Yeah, and guess what? Those guys left.
Our Negroes are law-abiding citizens, and we ain't doing that here. We don't do that here. They Wakanda. They
Yeah, I ain't no Negroes here. Let's go. Like they left.
Here. That's what they said.
Guys left to it. Yeah, that's what it is.
And then like people were saying that, well, he was shooting up cars. The people were saying something because it's like the reason why the police were out there is because they did get a call that I think 8 shots were fired, and that's what they were responding to.
And going back to my original thought, I don't think Adam Toledo shot. I don't know that kid, but I'm just going by like based on the evidence and what my gut tells me. Like common sense is like the shooter probably was that 21-year-old.
21-year-old.
Cops were chasing him. He gave him the here, take this, and
hand off. He gave him the handoff because it's
in case we get caught is like they catch you with a weapon, slap on the wrist. Catch me with a weapon, I'm going to jail at least 10 years. Like,
you're a minor. You're getting juvie at most, and it's probably gonna be a slap on the wrist.
It depends if you don't have any priors, they might just send you home to your parents. They're like, you might just your probation to your 18th or your 21st birthday, like that. A lot of times they do that. Okay, you're on probation to your 21st birthday.
Yeah, another thing about Adam, when people were trying to like shame, well, why don't you know your child? Okay, let's look at the whole picture of him. Like looking at stuff, they said that he had ran away before. And like I said, once again, I used to work in a department where like they would report kids, like when kids would be on the run. Like they had a unit called On the Run unit where kids would run, like these high-risk kids would be running. And we would have to find these high-risk kids that ran. So it's like, unless you know that side of it, just please be quiet. You don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea what you're talking about.
I legit saw the comments were like divided like that on the Power 92 Instagram. I didn't realize this story was going there. I'm like, okay. But
this, okay, like I said, what I hypothesize happened is like the boy probably was a troubled youth and he probably had other things, got mixed in with the wrong crowd, decided to hang out, thought that the 21, at 13, if you hang out with 21-year-old is cool when you're 13. You're hanging out with him. He's doing all type of stuff. You hang out with him. You think
when I was 13, our older brother was 21. So like, that's all you want to do is hang out with him.
Hang out with somebody older who's older and cooler than you. That's what you want to do when you're that age.
Hang out with Kareem and his homies. Like when you're that age, I was 13, he was 21, I believe. Yeah, exactly. It's the exact same age.
Yeah. So then you're hanging out with him, and then when something happens, it's like, oh shit, and then like cops show up. Oh shit, cops show like when everything. Okay, oh shit, he just shot something. Then cops come out. Shit, it's like that. Then it's like, oh. Now it's like a real panic there because it's like if you're just out there shooting and having fun around, nobody got hurt. You just shooting parked cars or whatever. You're doing stuff like that. Nobody's getting hurt.
Like even 21 is young, and like when you're young, you do stupid shit like that.
Yeah, you do.
Probably were just like firing their car. Yeah, watch.
We both was 21 at one time.
Watch this. It's like they just like
yeah. You think that you just having a grand old time until somebody actually calls and then the police show up. Now it's like, oh shit. We actually can get some real time. I'm out. You want to run. The first instant you're going to do is run. That's your first instinct. You're going to run.
My gut tells me that Adam Toledo didn't own a gun. I believe the gun belonged to the 20.
You're going to run because you're going to try to get away. If I can run fast enough and outrun this cop, then I can get away. They didn't see my face. It's dark. It's the middle of the night. They don't know it's me. I'm going to try to get away. Cop is running. No. Okay, you take this, homie. Take this from me. And then just toss it. And then that way, even if they do find it, it's like you could be like, it ain't mine. It ain't mine. It ain't, like you toss it on the way you're running. You like
I said, and even as a minor, if you get caught with a gun, it's a chance you don't even do jail time, especially if you don't have a record. They might just, like I said, just send you home to your parents, give you probation to your 21st birthday. So, but if you're grown, you're not getting that deal. So that's why
another thing they might do with you. I said, from my personal experience, I said the boys that I had, they had been placed in psychiatric care because like they were monitoring and saying that, okay, like now I see that you have ADHD or you have some type of chemical imbalance. You have some sort of, something. So it's like, we're going to institutionalize you in a hospital. Because I've seen several kids at the hospital, at the psych hospital. I've seen several kids there. So that's another option that they may do or whatnot. But it's just unfortunate what happened that a young boy did lose his life.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot to unpack. Like I say, it's like
I still don't know what the charges, if charges are going to be like brought to. I still don't know what's going to happen with the cop that killed Adam Toledo. Like we still don't know yet.
It's no right or wrong answer. It's not.
I still don't even know. Like I still don't know if he's going to be charged or like if he is.
Everything is not black or white.
I still don't know. Yeah.
Everything are not black and white, and that's a totally gray situation. The whole situation is gray. It is. That whole situation is very gray. Like I said, stop demonizing him because he was 13 years old out in the middle of the night. Like, I mean, if you've never snuck out, applause to you. When I was 13, I was playing with Barbie dolls. Applause to you then. Applause to you. That's why I do to people when they say stuff like that. Applause to you. Other people don't have the...
When I was 13, girls definitely weren't playing with Barbie dolls.
But some people don't have the luxury. Some people may come from a broken home. Some people at 13 have to work jobs to support the family. Mm-hmm. You don't know everybody's situation, so you need to be a little bit more compassionate about people's situation before you try to vilify them. That's just my thing. Stop vilifying victims.
Wow, what an episode.
Stop doing it.
Time to wrap up. Let's just say rest in peace to the legendary Black Rob before we wrap this up, though. Lost another legend in the game, 51 years old. So rest in peace to her. I didn't want
she was woe.
Mm-hmm. He was woe and get this money. Hit this money. G-Dep, let's get it. He's on that one, I believe, too. Yeah. So Black Rob, early the bad boy era. Yeah. Rest in peace to the
That was my shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But let's wrap up. Not another damn podcast. Very controversial episode we got in this. But definitely appreciate you supporting Not Another Damn Podcast. You want to support us further? Here's what you can do. Give our Facebook fan page a like. You know it is. Also, subscribe, share, rate, review wherever you get your podcasts. I'm talking about Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, SoundCloud, iHeart, TLC Talk Radio. What up, Tasha?
Hey.
Start hanging up with the homie Jalea. Like, I know both of them from like the IMS days. I saw you posted a pic. I see you like reconnected with the homie. Good look. Also, you can follow me at Ozman the Wizard on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Oz Radio on Snapchat and Facebook as well. You know how I do it.
And you can check me out, MSIMA8626 on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Also, SCR8GULEY1 on Twitter, SCR8GULEY7 on Instagram. Also, please like the Straight Gully Facebook fan page. Check out straightgully.com for your blogs and your vlogs. And for your video production needs, check out straightgullyproductions.com.
Well, I'm Ozman the Wizard.
And Naima.
We will talk to you later. I'm gone.